Begin transmission.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's time for another open mic. Let's get Largo in here and get the chat up on the screen and get the
Everybody.
overlay on. What's going on there, Largo? You been doing all right, man?
I'm getting there. Been busy this week. How about yourself?
It's been a long week, but it's been a good week. It's been a better week than it's been in the past. I can tell you that. Everything went pretty well at work. Once again, we're both having internet issues, folks. So kind of bear with us as we kind of go in and out. I think Largo, you got your camera off because your internet's messing up tonight too, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I'm down to one bar.
Oh, it sucks, man. Let's see who else here tonight. No Way Farms came in first. Good to see you there, No Way. And he's got a boar piggy named Bill. And I asked him if that boar pig was named after me, and he said no. And everything's plastic collectibles and reviews came in. We're doing good, man. Good to see you in tonight, man. Glad you stopped by for a visit. And Gojitron's hanging out too. I see you in there, Gojitron. And I can be a bore at times, I think. But yes, touche. And that looks like about it for right now. Jordell Fresh Breeze, I see you there. Hey, Jordell, good to see you. Glad you stopped by. And World Made of Cardboard's in. Hey, man, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, so it looks like there's more than 4 people in here, but it just says there's 4. I guess that doesn't count me and you, huh, Largo?
We don't count. I've been told that for years.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm bringing this up for the chat. Have you guys had any hauls this week? Any loot hauls? What have you got going on? Are you kind of laying low because of Christmas? What's going on, guys? That's kind of what we want to do with live chat. It's your open time, man. Just have at it, man. Tell us what all's going on in your life as well as
maybe there's some. Have we got any good Valentine's horror stories from this year? Did it go horribly, horribly wrong for anybody?
That would be interesting to find out. My wife and I, we celebrated Valentine's Day by eating some candy and watching TV. I think we watched The Bad Batch.
Well, that sounds like a date.
Yeah, it's pretty much a date. We're going to Cardboard says, I only got some Final Faction stuff, only the bad guys. Well,
bad guys are the best.
Yeah. Bad guys always look cooler than the good guys, in my opinion.
And they usually have cooler cars, too.
Yeah. One of my favorites was that G.I. Joe Cobra fellow that drove the water moccasin, I believe was the name of it.
Yeah, I don't remember the character, but I remember the water moccasin. That was a cool ride.
Hey, there's Bjorn Jorgensen. Sham bollocks, man. Glad to see you in. No Way Farm said he stopped by the Tractor Supply and found some awesome farm like toys.
Oh, cool. Yep. Those Tractor Supply and even some of the old hardware stores, especially around Christmas, they'd always have some good toys that were specific to certain, like John Deere and whatnot.
Yeah. Copperhead says World Made of Cardboard. There you go. Thanks. And Gojitron says the only thing he picked up was the last of the Final Faction repaints that he needed. Okay.
Cool.
A Cobra is and always will be the best.
They do have sharp uniforms. I'll give them that.
And Cobra Commander always had a pretty sharp uniform, in my opinion.
Yeah. Although I question the use of the baby blue, Oh, it looks like we're both low on the energy bar for the internet.
Fresh Fish got Terraclaw Skeletor on sale from Amazon.
Nice. Oh, speaking of sales, see if I've got enough bars to come on screen here for a second.
Sure. Try it out.
There I am.
About to zero right now.
Yeah, I keep going up and down, so I might bog in. For those who are into Valor's Action Force, there is a sale going on starting today. The Duster figure, they have overstock, and they're selling them for about, I think it's $13.99. You can buy 4 and get 1 free. It's a heck of a deal if you want to do some custom kit bashing, army building, or just give them to friends. It's a good figure, and it's a good price. So just putting that out there.
See, Boba Hicks just showed up, and Bjorn Orgenson says that he's working on some custom figures at the moment. Tell us about it, Bjorn. We want to know. Gap After Dark, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out here and watching the chat, seeing what's going on. I probably need to put this comment with the comment section when this is over with. I want to shout out Big Nerdy over at Nerdzoic Toys. I got a new box here, and I'm going to open it up real quick. And this will give me the last figure that I need to finish up my retro real Ghostbusters collection.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, I heard he had a good sale on those. Now save the box because World Made of Cardboard always needs another cardboard box.
Now that'll be between John and my wife.
I imagine he's actually got plenty, but
now you never know. John, I may send you just a whole bunch of cardboard in the mail sometime.
Talk about a gag gift.
And
you could do it like those Russian dolls and just put box inside a box inside a box.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how he packed it. He packed it in a lot of bubble wrap.
Yeah. Yeah, Nerdzoic and Helidope are both real good about packing stuff when they ship it out. I appreciate that. Better than the big box stores do. They just slam it in there, and you never know what you're going to get.
And the card back is pristine mint.
Nice.
Not a nick or a ding or a crease in it at all. So
did you get you a Buster or did you get you a Ghost?
I got a Ghost. I got all the Busters. I got all the Ghosts except the one that I never got, and that is
Ted.
The Bug-Eye Ghost.
Ted's having dinner time, but he'll be lurking around.
Okay, cool. All right. So I got Bug-Eye Ghost.
Bjorn's working on some Cowboys, some Wild West stuff. That's cool.
Oh,
definitely like to check that out.
So once I figure out what I did with all the rest of my retro figures, I can put that with them. They're all on card. I never took them off a card because I've got just about all these except for the ghosts in vintage figures. So I might want to just leave all these cards.
Man, I've been trying to resist those, but I really like them. You and Grindhead both have been showing them off. Now I caught the bug.
Well,
looks like Gap found a good deal.
Oh, really?
Yep, great find. Goodwill for $24. Toys R Us 2013 X-Wing exclusive. That is sweet.
Nice. Oh, and Ted Darklaw's. I guess they're talking about the hazardous waste spill or where they set all that shit on fire and sent it up in the air over there in Ohio. He says, luckily, I'm 150 miles away and our water comes from a different river.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Look, the mainstream news is not covering this, but it's going on. Uh, I know that Jeremy over there at the quartering, he's been covering this quite extensively, and it's really fucked up. They had a town hall meeting with all the residents in the area who were concerned about what's going on, and they have a right to be concerned. The fish are dying in the rivers.
Mm.
Livestock is dying all over the place from the hazardous fumes and stuff from where the rail company decided in their infinite wisdom that they would just set all of this hazardous material on fire to keep it
Good grief.
so all of this instead of it seeping into the ground, they this huge toxic waste cloud is just floating all over the area. And they said, well, only a mile away. I mean, they only evacuated residents up to a mile away, but shit's dying 100 miles away. So
Mm.
yeah, it's not good. And they had a town hall meeting, and the damn rail company decided that they weren't even going to show up. They gave the big middle finger to those
Ooh.
people.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, it's certainly a concern and sad for those who are currently and still living there. It's going to hurt us for a very, very long. It is going to hurt for a very, very long time. And what really is concerning to me is the fact that the mainstream media is not covering this, for one, and for two, the government seems to be in cahoots with the rail company trying to cover all this shit up.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense, does it? I mean, it's a disaster, is what it is. You would think that the governor would be asking for some help for the cleanup or something.
It's like they're coming in there telling these residents, "Oh, it's okay. Go home now. The drinking water's safe." And you look at the drinking water, and it's got like a rainbow film in it and all that kind of
Ugh.
shit. People are
Yeah,
scared.
these the same folks that told us Love Canal was okay and 3 Mile
Yeah.
Island was just fine and
same shit. Excuse my language.
yeah.
This pisses me off. But yeah. Bo Hicks says, "Screw the rail company. That's what happens when you put profits before people." It's absolutely right. And Ted Darklaw says, "The last I heard, we were denied help."
Yeah, that's
EPA,
dirty.
The EPA's been paid off too because they're the ones coming and telling people, "Oh yeah, the water's safe. Drink it. You drink that shit at your own damn peril."
Yeah, there's been all kinds of stuff that's come up. My dad was stationed at the Marine base at Camp Lejeune and found out that for many of the years he served there, the water was contaminated. And they're just now getting around to talking about what happened back in the 70s and 80s. It's like, really? You're just now getting around to addressing it?
Yeah, the Camp Lejeune, that's a thing too. And look, it's not a conspiracy if it really is happening, okay? And there's too many things like that happening, and that's the way they shut us up. That's the way that's the gaslight. Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Go wear your tinfoil hat, or ha ha ha, you're a fool, because you believe stupid conspiracy theories. But what if it's not? There's too many coincidences.
Yeah, I'm with the world made of cardboard. Government trying to cover something up? Perish the thought.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he wasn't even aware of it until February the 10th because they've been covering it up. It's been going on for quite some time. And like I said, the mainstream media won't even cover it. I think CNN gave them all of 2 seconds of coverage. 2 seconds.
That's a shame. Yeah, being outside of the continental U.S., I don't always hear about stuff when it's broadcast everywhere. So when they're not broadcasting it at all, I only hear about it through hearsay, and then I have to go check it out for myself.
Yeah, well, all we know right now are people on the ground in the area who are posting it to different social medias. But here's the problem with that. Social media tends to be in cahoots with the crowd too, so they'll cover that shit up in social media. They won't let it get out, or they'll sit there and they'll strangle off whoever's trying to make the post.
Well, I don't know. People. I mean, some of the big boys there have cut their pee-pee caught and slapped for doing that kind of stuff. I mean, some of them got hauled in front of Congress, so maybe they're getting better about it, but I don't know.
We'll see. Gap says it's pissing him off too. They're not helping the people near the train wreck site, and then the other train wreck in Ohio. is not to be a coincidence. Yeah, yeah. There are no such things as coincidences.
Doesn't seem to be.
Yeah,
Yep.
Project Paperclip, Project Mockingbird, Tuskegee, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. MK Ultra, you ever heard of that? That's a good rabbit hole to go fall down into.
I was going to say it's a little early to get into the
Well,
the.
the thing about it is trains derail on a daily basis. The problem
Mm,
is that they don't have to tell us what they're hauling on those trains. And some of that stuff they're hauling is some really, really, really nasty stuff. Even nuclear waste gets hauled by train. Did you know that?
well, I know. Once upon a time, most of the train lines were away from populated areas, but as people have expanded out, those train lines go right through neighborhoods, and all kinds of nasty stuff can happen with a derailment. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Hey, Susudio.
Yeah, what's going on? Good to see you in the house. Ted says he feels relatively safe for now. There's a lot of farmland out there that combined with rivers makes it a huge concern, and we don't know what the aftermath is going to be for years. Well, the thing about it is, all those farm animals are dying. We've already got enough going on with this avian flu that's causing farms to have to kill off all their chickens. If
Hmm.
just two chickens get the avian flu, the whole chicken farm flock has to be destroyed.
Yeah, it seems a bit extreme, but I don't know how virile this flu thing is.
Yeah, you can't put out a sodium fire with water. You have to
Oh
smother
no,
it.
that's like when phosphorus burns. That's some nasty stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and you start to wonder about the coincidences here. 5 derailments in 1 month in the United States. Now there was one in
Hmm.
Texas that I know about. Then there was the one in Detroit, and there was one in Ohio, and there was another one I think in North or South Carolina.
Well, now is it one of those things like when you buy a car and then you start seeing that particular car model on the road because you're aware of it? Is this going on all the time? We're just not aware of it.
Well, I know trains derail all the time. I mean, I live next to a railroad track, so you can hear the train go by every once in a
Yeah.
while in these live streams. And yeah, I've witnessed a train derailment. It can happen
Hmm.
at any time. One time, there was a fellow in a pickup truck sitting across a private crossing. They've about
Hmm.
gotten rid of all of those now, but he was sitting on top of the private crossing in the
Dumb.
middle of the night with a pair of binoculars, looking at a pair of deer. When he heard a knocking on his on the window glass beside him, and he rolled the window down, and it was the engineer, and he said, "I just derailed my train to keep from hitting you."
Wow. Wow. That's scary. That's something else. Well, when I
Yeah.
was talking about train wrecks, I was talking romantically. I didn't think about literal train wrecks.
Yeah, well, here Susudio says ever since that train derailment, she's been having a burning in her nose and been sick at her stomach. Sweetie, you
Hmm.
need to go to the doctor. You don't know what you breathed in. Who knows? The new media will report on what the end thing is to report. Yeah,
Yeah, they got to know which celebrity is in trouble and which one's in rehab. That's more important than national safety.
exactly.
It's a circus.
Well, they want us to consume the media that they want us to consume and ignore all the rest. Uh, it's already been put forth that the Chinese weather balloons were all about look over here at this and don't look over here at that.
Yep, bread and circuses, as they used to say. It's a curiosity, that's for sure.
Oh, and I figure I'd go ahead and tease what we're going to be doing tomorrow night by showing off this figure right here, which is a Trendmaster's Tarzan figure, and I'd gotten those button cell batteries from Ocean Breathe Salty, if you remember, to put in
Mm-hmm.
Gandalf. I,
Gandalf. Yep.
I went ahead and opened Tarzan up and put them in
Cool.
him, and he's got a little button here on his chest, and he works still. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
So
always liked when
we'll
they. I was gonna say some gimmicks were terrible, but those were pretty cool when they started doing the little sound chips. Ugh.
Yeah, you're right, Bo. We're not government endorsed, nor are we YouTube endorsed.
We might get a visit from some men in black suits one of these days. You never know.
Yeah, the Men in Black, absolutely. And I miss the Trendmasters. The Trendmasters were also one of the only companies to ever do John Carter of Mars toys.
Yep, I remember they did John, and they did who was his buddy, the big green alien? I can't remember his name.
Ars Tarkus.
That's the guy. I remember they did that one
He
too.
had
It's pretty
four
cool.
arms. Yeah, he had
Mm-hmm.
four arms, two torsos, an insect-like head. Yeah, the Green Men of Mars.
Yep.
Let's see. Susudio says, weirdly, I don't live that close to derailment, but it's been extremely windy.
Mm.
Cool, Tarzan. Thank you. Warmade Cardboard says that yell sounds a little odd. Well, it does. It's because it's a little bitty tiny speaker, and I think it's been sped up just slightly.
Mm.
It's not the full extended yell that you're probably familiar with. And Largo has already been so kind to put this on here. I'll go ahead and let you hear this. That's the extended yell from MGM there, and that's kind of an abbreviated yell that's in the figure. So yeah, there's a little bit off on that. I
Plus,
agree.
that figure's what, 20 years old now. It's probably not at tip top.
More like, well, let's see, when did that come out? About 1997, 98. So the 98, 2008, 2018. So we're looking at 30 some odd years now, man.
Wow, time flies. Yep.
Did
I
Largo
bet
do that?
Gojitron had a whole slew of those. Yeah, they did Tarzan, John Carter, Lost in Space, Battlestar Galactica, Mars Attacks. I don't remember the Japanese line they did.
Yeah,
Hmm.
God's
Something.
something.
Yeah,
Other.
something. Godzuki? No, that's not it. It'll come to me eventually. That
I'm
was
sure
they did
will.
the ones they did were the iguana. They weren't the real Godzilla. So
Okay. Well, we don't need to know all the information there. Everything's plastic.
that might be too much information, but entertaining nonetheless. Good for
Absolutely.
you.
So I guess they swing from the rafters there at everything's up there in Canada. And
Jungle love, baby.
John wants to know if you did the yell.
Only when I drop something on my foot.
Let's see what Susudio says. J.D. Vance was at the side of the derailment and stirred up the water and showed the rainbow color from the chemicals in the water. Yeah, and also there was a lady who lived near there, and she was told that the water's fine. The water's fine. So she goes down to the bridge near her house, and she goes down, and you can see all the dead fish floating in the water. Yeah, the water's fine.
Ugh. Yeah, it doesn't sound too good.
See, Gojitron says they did all the Toho monsters. They were nice. They were, and I had them all. I had them all. I even had Varon the Unbelievable, and the only way to get him was to order him directly from Trendmasters when they were trying to get rid of their overstock.
Now, see, I thought it was Bandai that did all those. I didn't realize Trendmaster did them
do
too.
all those, but Trendmaster did them here in the United States at that time.
The only ones I remember seeing was those from the God Awful Iguana movie, because those were all over the store. They couldn't get rid of them because it was a.
Yeah, Trendmasters did those as well, but they also did the classic Godzilla line. But they had their own spin on it, but they were nice.
Yeah.
They were really nice, and they had the deluxe figures too with the snap-on armor. They had a Godzilla, and they had Rodan, and they had King Ghidorah. Yeah. Let's see. My wife just had a massive electric shock off my desk, and she made that sound. Okay.
Shocking.
Johnny Sorensen, can I ask what time this started, as it did not show up as scheduled for me in YouTube? 5 o'clock. And
5 o'clock Central. I'm not sure for you, Johnny, what
Central
time that is.
Whatever time that is in Australia, but 5 o'clock Central Time is whenever we start the Friday show. 5 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time, 4 Eastern. And yes, I don't usually have the thumbnail up until about 30 minutes before showtime because I have to come home from work and then I have to run down here to the den, make a thumbnail, throw it up real quick, get the show started. Me and Largo hang out for about 5 or 10 minutes while we drink coffee and make sure our mics are working and we see how horrible our internet is and we go, how's it going to work?
Yeah. I do agree. The G-force concept that Trendmasters did was pretty cool. I liked that where they were going with that. The articulation was terrible, but the idea was good.
What
But
is it,
yeah,
5 points? 5 points?
I want to say it was, but they had weird hips on them. They didn't move well,
Yeah.
but they looked good. But yeah, Trendmasters took a bath on those iguana figures. Lord of mercy, that was a
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
gamble.
I had a Geno figure that it was fully articulated. It was a good figure of a bad monster. And
World made of cardboard's got a boogie.
Geno wasn't a bad monster, okay? Let's get things clear about Geno. Geno was the thing that came from the depths of the ocean. He wasn't Godzilla. If they had named that movie anything but Godzilla, it would have been
It
a
might have
fine
been better.
movie.
Yeah. What was the one, the Beast from 3,000 Fathoms or something like that? I remember that being a black and white monster movie. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that?
And that's basically what the Geno movie was. I got to go. Family stuff. Well, yeah, family comes first, my friend.
Indeed.
And see, Susudio says there's a lady that lost her 5 chickens. Yeah, I saw that too, Susudio. Yeah, the chickens died immediately.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good thing, that's for sure. I'm very fortunate here. We still have inexpensive egg and healthy chickens. So that whatever that crud is, it hasn't made its way to Guatemala.
Yeah,
because I like my omelets.
I think that crud is just part of the. And here I go again. I'll put my tinfoil hat on now. I think that crud is.
I'm gonna make you a tinfoil hat, and then every time you go off on a tangent, I'm gonna make you wear it, or we'll put one on Eduardo and have him go across the screen.
Exactly. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying all these things happening all at one time.
It is peculiar. It is definitely peculiar.
He spells it with a U. He spells it with Eduardo.
Yes.
Eduardo.
Eduardo, lover of chickens.
Yeah, there he is.
That's our guy. Look at him strut.
Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Oops.
Yeah,
that's
there
it.
you go. Harryhausen film that partially inspired Toho's Gojira. Well,
okay.
it might have been the inspiration for Gojira, but I know that the Iguana movie probably could have been named that and probably come out a lot better than what it did.
Yeah, it was not good. But that those Harryhausen films, that and was it Sinbad, and then he did he did a few of them that were pretty cool. Because every Saturday afternoon after cartoons were done and wrestling was done, they would show monster movies in my local area, and those were classics. They just run those.
What was that Harryhausen cowboy movie where the cowboys fought the dinosaurs? Help me out here, Gojitron. I know you know what I'm talking about.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I couldn't remember the title of it. I'll have to look into that because it was like a Lost Valley or something they went into or something
like that.
There was a Louis L'Amour.
There he is, the Valley of Guanji.
I knew it was Valley something. Yeah, there was a Louis L'Amour that was similar to that, where the cowboys went into a weird valley and ended up with some critters. It was not one of his better works.
Well, come on, I love that.
It's Louis L'Amour, yeah. Yeah, those were fun to read when you're a kid because, they're fun and easy, and they're shoot 'em ups.
Yeah.
Can't knock a good paperback.
No, I used to consume at least one paperback a night back when my eyes weren't so bad.
Yeah, same here. Back before Kindle, I was very much into paperbacks. Now I get everything electronically, and my eyes have suffered for it.
I cannot read things on screen like that. I mean, I can read on screen. Don't get me wrong. I can't read a novel on screen. Sorry. It just doesn't work. I have to
It's an
have
acquired thing.
in my
Yeah. I prefer a physical one, just like with comic books. But when you live in an area of high humidity, paper does not survive well. So it's
yeah.
better to
I
have the
can see
digital.
that. I can see that.
Plus, there's definitely there's something cool that, as 10-year-old me would have never thought this. I can have an entire library on a little brick. It's just crazy. I've got probably 20 books in here plus comic books. So who'd have
You
thunk it?
know, yeah, No Way Farm's got a point here. Hobbit was an amazing book as a kid. He busted the spine on
Hmm.
it reading it when he was younger. Yeah, reading it over
Wow.
and over and over again. Yeah. Didn't Harryhausen do a Jason the Argonauts? Yes, he did. I believe he did.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, there were skeletons that were in that were real popular. They fight. I can't. They all get mixed together with me because it's like there was Jason the Argonauts, there was Sinbad and the Golden Voyage, there was the Clash of the Titans, and they all had good critters, and they were all Harryhausen. So
I like Salt says you are the test for my new internet service. Good to see you on the big screen. Good to see
fancy.
you. I like Salt. Good to see you, sir.
I like
Glad.
Salt's getting highfalutin now. He's
Well,
got internet and
he's
everything.
well. His internet service went to shit, and he's been having to
Well,
use just his little telephone with his cell service to watch his shows, and now he's got it fixed. So I'm good to I'm good and glad that's going on.
yeah, we can certainly sympathize with bad internet. We've been there, done that. Still dealing with
And
that.
doing it right now. Johnny Sorensen saying hi to everyone. Gap After Dark says, I'd like to have some Harryhausen figures, but they're so expensive now.
Yeah. There's some when Grindhead does his toy grinds, he shows off some very expensive statues, and they're doing a lot of Harryhausen tribute statues now, and they are super expensive. Pretty,
Yeah.
but expensive.
If you like watching someone show you pictures of overpriced statues, Toy Grinds is the place to go on Monday afternoons. Grindhead Jim will be happy to show you $900 little statues made of resin.
Oh yeah. Uh, Jordell Fresh Breeze is looking at my coffee ogre.
He says,
Yeah,
"What's that
he.
big beast? Is that Predacon or something different?"
This here is a Mythic Legion's rock troll, and he protects my coffee when I'm not at my desk. So
Oh,
I call him
nice.
my coffee troll.
How goes you trying three Sinbad films with three different actors playing Sinbad? Well, you're not supposed to
I
notice
know
that.
it's hard to keep up with.
Closest thing is the Skeleton Warriors from Golden Axe line from Storm Collectibles.
Those are good. I got one or two of those.
Didn't Epic Hacks over there at our friends Boss Fights? Didn't they do some Skeleton Warriors?
They did in the 1/18th scale, and I think they're doing some in a larger scale, but don't quote me on that. I'd have to go look. Somebody's doing bigger skeletons, but the only ones I've seen
Yeah,
that are really nice are the ones that Storm Collectibles did for Golden Axe, which is a
yeah.
video game.
Yeah, Gap's talking about Western action figures like Lone Ranger and Silver and maybe Tonto and Scout. I know that Gabrielle did them in what was it that 6 inch line that they did, 8 inch
Yeah,
line.
there was it Marks was another company that did Lone Ranger and Tonto at least.
Yeah. Now
Um,
now
those were more
Gabrielle
12-inch
Gabrielle
though, I
did
think.
Gabrielle did did the small ones for the shitty Lone Ranger Legend of Lone Ranger
Hmm.
movie with Saul Salisbury in it. Those were good figures, and
Yep.
they did horses too.
Check out Analog Toys. In his back catalog, he did a whole thing about Lone Ranger toys. He's got a nice collection of those, including Butch Cavendish and all the good guys and bad guys from that line. So
And let
he's
me
a
make sure I shout out Eldor. Eldor's in the house. Good to see you there,
oh
Mountain
hey
Person.
Eldor.
No Way says the best memories of my life. My daughter, as a teen, started watching Hercules and Xena the Warrior Princess with me before she went into high school back in the day. Those
Very
were
cool.
decent TV shows for what they were back in the 90s.
Yeah, I like Kevin Sorbo. I thought he was a pretty good actor. I especially liked his sci-fi show Andromeda. That was really cool. But I'm more of a sci-fi guy than I am fantasy. I dabble.
I'd like to see that movie, Johnny.
Yep.
Uh, Revoltech released an official Jason Argonaut Skeleton Warrior a few years ago. How much is that worth, I wonder?
Woo! I bet that's a pretty penny.
Check out Analog Toys. All right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you done turned them on to Analog Toys.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you
because
what,
Tony's.
you're going to fall in love
I was
with
just,
Tony. You're going to
yeah,
fall in love with him.
it's a great rabbit hole. Tony's a contemporary, like of our age, so he remembers the toys from the '70s, the '80s, and he's really gone into some deep dives on those. Plus, Action Man
All right.
from Pallet
All
Toy,
right.
You're
Uh,
freezing up a little there,
uh,
Bill.
uh, 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 uh,
Yes, Susudio. There was a Lou Ferrigno Hercules, and
Sinbad movie. Uh,
I knew it was Hercules, and I know his voice was dubbed. I don't know if he did Sinbad or not.
Okay.
He played quite a few of those. Boy, that's another rabbit hole. All those He-Man muscly type gladiator films and Hercules and all those guys were big.
Steve Reed movies, the McKee movies from over there in Italy.
Yes.
That were repackaged as Hercules movies in America.
Yes, those are fun.
And they even made a whole TV show using those McKee movies where they recut it and called it The Sons of Hercules. I think we've talked about that one before.
We have. I have the Rebel Tech. Okay. Yeah, Rebel Tech is some of their stuff is really spendy here in the States or in this part of the world. So maybe because there's a lot of them weren't imported. I'm not sure.
Do you like gladiator movies?
Nice airplane reference there, sir. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. No Way Farm says, who doesn't like gladiator movies? And Johnny Sorensen coming in here with us, according to the internet, which is always true, by the way, folks. Lou Ferrigno was in the Sinbad of the Seven Seas. Okay. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno played a lot of movies, and a lot of times he was dubbed because of his the way he talks, and he can't help that because he's deaf. And I don't know if anybody realizes that or not.
I don't know if he's full. Is he just partially deaf or fully deaf? But either way, I think he had a surgery to fix that later on. But
yeah, he learned how to talk without knowing what he was being able to hear himself. Mm-hmm. So he talks like a deaf person would talk, and it's not their fault. That's just the way it happens.
Sure, but the man definitely knew how to lift some weights. Partially he was built.
Says Johnny Morrison, partially deaf. Okay. Yeah. I know when he played the Incredible Hulk, which is what we all remember, that he was on Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers did a whole week of shows about superheroes. And of course, being Mr. Rogers, being who he is, he was there to make sure the children realized that these were fictional characters. They weren't real. And he went and all right.
Yeah, he was a big boy. And he was hugely popular, especially in the 70s. Late 70s, early 80s. When was the Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno? Was that late 70s?
Hello. Am I still here?
You winked out for a minute, but you're back now.
Yeah, my secondary monitor went to sleep.
Yep, I remember Jack LaLanne and the Charles Atlas news comic book ads and all that good stuff. Jack LaLanne was no joke.
Jack LaLanne was a real deal, and a matter of fact, one of the last things I remember him doing was selling those juicers.
Oh yeah, like the what is it, Vitamix or one of those brands?
I'm fixing to restart my camera. Don't wig out, folks.
Very cool.
There we go.
I'll have to try to find that.
That Mr. Rogers segment with Bixby and Ferrigno's on YouTube. I watched it not too long ago. Yeah, he did it with a lot of the stuff that was going on. I think he even had the lady who played the Wicked Witch of the West on there to show you that she wasn't evil. She was really a nice lady. I like saw
That
it. I thought it was my internet. No, it's ours. Ours sucks. And it's not just my internet. It's my whole setup in here. I'm like really on the cheap over here. I've got a laptop. It's actually a pretty powerful laptop, but I tax it to its limits. And then bad internet on top of that. It just isn't a good. Just made an interesting alien cowboy. Oh, that's cool, Bjorn. We'll have to have you on sometime to show off some of your stuff when you get it all
yeah,
done.
Bjorn does put some stuff out on Instagram, so you can check that out there. In the
And
meantime,
Bjorn, you can feel free to put your Instagram link up so folks can look at your
yeah,
stuff on Instagram. I have a great book from Jack LaLanne, Exercises, Motivation, and Such. What a human dynamo. He was the real deal, folks, back in the day.
hmm
That was the fitness man. He had his own fitness TV show and everything.
and he was a trainer to some other famous folks, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Let's see what Susudio's saying here. She says Lou Ferrigno was making a personal appearance nearby, and he wouldn't do any autographs unless you paid him. He's quite rude to everyone. It ain't just him; it's any of these guys. I I can understand, you being upset because they say, okay, you got to pay me to get my autograph, but you have to understand another thing. Uh, People think that all the actors are just rich, 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 when actually they're not.
Yeah,
Uh,
some of them they get by on what they get at those conventions and signings and things.
yeah, they do. They make a lot of money when they make movies, but they're not making any money between movies.
Mm.
So yeah,
Or
there
like
are plenty of
people like
billionaires
poor.
out there, but most of them are not.
Yeah, I mean, we think about like Adam West. He went through a rough patch after Batman where he
Yeah,
was
he was
typecast.
typecast. He couldn't play anything else. All he could do was make personal appearances at like auto car shows and stuff like that in the Batman costume.
Mm.
And luckily for him, they allowed him to do that. When he appeared on Studio Wrestling, he couldn't wear the entire Batman costume because of copyrights and trademarks. But he did come on with a black tracksuit on, wearing the cowl, and everybody knew he was Batman.
Interesting.
Yeah, it may be one of his only forms of income. We don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that the man doesn't have money, but a lot of times when these people go to these places, that's what they're doing. They're making money by selling their autographs and selling pictures of themselves, or having you give them a little money so that you can come up and take a picture with them. I know that's the case a lot of times at these sci-fi conventions. Uh, I know I encountered that. And a lot of times the actors are really nice about it. Some of them are not because they're tired. They're humans like we all are. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like we all do, and they have good days and bad days. But I can remember I had purchased some photographs of one of my favoriteest actresses in the whole wide world, and that was the lady who played Leela on Doctor Who. And she was at this convention, and I went up with the pictures in my hand, and she goes, normally I don't sign these pictures because I want you to buy my pictures, but for you, I'll sign your pictures. And when she said that, I bought some of her pictures as well because, it just that's how they make their money, and I didn't realize that at the time. No Way Farm says, I never have told you that I'm Batman.
It's true. We've never seen No Way Farms and Batman in the same room at the same time. So there you go.
Man. All celebrities charge for autographs. It's how they get by. And they have to give a percentage to their agents and promoters and such. Yeah.
Mm.
I get that, but to call people names and charge them $10 for signature, well, I can't speak for that. That probably was the kind of uncalled for. I've heard some really, really, really terrible things about how some of the actors act whenever they're approached out and about. But you
Yeah,
know,
and plus you never know when they're having a bad day or what happened. And I try to give people the benefit of the doubt because sometimes you got to know that people just rub them the wrong way sometimes when they're in public.
absolutely. And then there are those like Alec Baldwin who just are assholes. And sometimes
That's
it's
true.
not good. Sometimes it's not good to meet your heroes because they'll let you down.
Yep. That is very true.
I've met about 100 celebrities, and the vast majority of them were cool. Even Shatner. Who?
Cool.
William Shatner. I bet he's a hoot.
Yeah.
And Bjorn gives us his Instagram. So if you go and look up Bjorn at Jorgensen94 on Instagram, that would be him. Oh, it's Rolando Flores. What's happening, my friend? And Boba Hicks says that he doesn't charge anything for autographs or signed photos.
Very cool. What about the candid photography? Do you charge extra for that?
Yeah, I want to take a selfie with you, Boba. Yeah, everybody's coming in the house tonight to hang out for a little while. Long as you guys in the chat keep it lively, me and Largo will stick around. So that's kind of what we're doing. Let's see. Master Versal Toy Hunter says, I asked Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, if I could have a photo with him with my Dalek prop there, and he did, despite normally we would have had to pay for that. Well, I'm going to
That's
tell you
nice.
right now, most of the Doctor Who actors and actresses are super cool whenever you meet them at a convention. Super, super cool. And World Made of Cardboard is still hanging around, I think, but I think he's doing family time right now. So if you don't see him around, that's what he's doing. Now, Paul McGann, for the longest time, would not go to Doctor Who conventions because he was frightened of the fans. But I think he's come around.
Yeah, he's even done some of the Big Finish audio and has made a lot of successful stories with the. I guess he would
Well,
be. What is he? The eighth Doctor officially?
he's officially the eighth Doctor. And for the longest time, it was only that shitty TV movie that he played in where he did an excellent job. It's just that the script was awful. And
Yeah.
he kind of proved with the Big Finish audio plays that they came out with that he would have made an excellent Doctor. He's got the chops.
Yep.
Best celebrity interaction I had was Richard Hatch from Battlestar Galactica. Now, I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And Edward James Olmos, and they talked to me for like 10 minutes. Edward James Olmos is cool as hell. You know, I always remember him playing in the Harrison Ford movie. Oh God, I just lost my train of thought.
I remember he played a school teacher. Was it? I don't remember which show that was in, but yeah, he's always played interesting characters, and I liked him as a Dama. I liked his take on it. It was very different from what we got with Lauren Green, but it was
Yeah,
good.
No Way Farms talking about the controversial take. The remake Battlestar is better than the original.
It's
I
different.
will I will agree with you on one point. The first two seasons were really, really good. And then it went downhill when you found out that they were making it up as they went along. They didn't have anything planned out in advance. So they'd written themselves into a corner and they had to figure out how to get out, and it kind of went kind of crazy.
Mm.
Bjorn wants to meet Sergeant Slaughter at Valakon.
Nice. Well, that's a possibility. He will be there as far as we know.
One of the greatest panels I ever went to was John Barrowman. He was a hoot.
Mm-hmm.
He cosplays at all his appearances. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Nice.
They canceled him though. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I liked his Captain Jack.
Stephen J. Cannell, he was one of the nicest people. He autographed his books and let us take photos with him. Yeah, that's the guy who made all those wonderful TV shows that we all remember.
Quite a few. Greatest American Hero was probably one of my favorites that he did. It's too bad it didn't have a longer run.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked Greatest American Hero. You know, they had to change his name halfway through it because something awful happened.
I
And his
remember.
name happened to be the same as that perpetrator.
Person. Yep.
No way, he's got to run. Wife wants some family time. Well, absolutely, man. Always. And good to have you on. And Rolando Flores, thank you so very much for sharing everybody's links. If you
Yeah. Definitely appreciate that.
look in the chat, Rolando Flores. So, and now that I'm back, everybody just say thank you, Rolando. I think Gap After Dark already has, but everybody thank Rolando. He is really cool to do this for us, and that's one of the reasons why I've made him a moderator here. And he just does a wonderful job. Thank you so much, Rolando.
Yeah. Susudio bringing up a couple of other great, the Rockford Files and the A
I
Team.
like
Those
the
were
Rock Files. I love the Rock Files. My
that was a good show.
my my my. I've got
Yeah,
the
we're
yeah. Our
oh
internets
okay.
are shitty here. I'm hoping to do a live unboxing of my Sergeant Slaughter classified figure as Sergeant Osceldor with Zazel and Sergeant Slaughter soon, if indeed the Sarge is not too busy. Well, you never
That'll
know.
be
But
fun.
Sarge is always up, and he's pretty cool guy in person. Really, he is.
Yep. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to doing the character study on Sergeant Slaughter in the Action Force when Will and I get to that character later this year.
And if you haven't done so, it's just a short, funny. But if you'll go over to Sergeant Slaughter's slaughterhouse over there where Zazel hangs out at, if you don't mind putting that link up while you're at it, Rolando, I would appreciate it. There's a little video up there where it's Sergeant Slaughter versus Sergeant Slammer, which is what he was called in
Mm-hmm.
Action Force. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Oh
Zazel
wow,
does a lot of good stuff.
you're gonna lose me off and on, and Largo as well because our internets are all crappy. I think a dog just pissed on the light pole out there, so that means I may be gone for good. So you never know.
Yeah, we may call it early tonight just because of the internet problems because it's not getting any better.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we're already an hour in. I said Bjorn said he met the Laker girls at a basketball game once. Okay,
Hubba hubba.
absolutely. Who remembers the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders? They used to be stars at one time. Used to show up on talk shows and variety shows all the time. Variety shows. Who remembers those? Carol Burnett had a variety show.
Yeah, that was one of
And
the best ones. And then dating ourselves even before was what was the one Sid Caesar's show of shows? Was that Sid Caesar?
yeah, that
I was
was. And our buddy Rolando has put that link up there for you. Sergeant Slaughter versus Sergeant Slammer on
mm-hmm.
Sergeant Slaughter Slaughterhouse. There's the link, guys, if y'all want to check it out. Master Versal says he loved watching a video that Zazel shared where the Sarge was on the Mario show. Yeah, that was
Yep.
funny. I saw that. And the variety shows, yeah. Speaking of which, Carol Burnett was very famous for doing something on her variety show all the time, and that was doing the Tarzan yell herself.
She was pretty good at it.
Not too bad, not too shabby. She can still do it, by the way. You can see her every once in a while on MeTV between segments promoting her show and stuff like that, and she still does that Tarzan yell. Speaking of which, Largo, you wanna tease everybody for what we got planned for Saturday night?
Well, we can. Considering our internet has given us fits, hopefully tomorrow night will be a little smoother. For those who come and hang out with us on late night, we're going to try something a little different. We're going around the bend and kind of going into the weird and fantastic in a different way. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and run this and show you guys what we're working with.
And
So that's our.
our first spotlight will be the literary Tarzan of the Apes.
Yep, we're going to do a spotlight on Tarzan and look at the difference between the pop culture myths and the original storyline. And who?
Johnny says, I'm setting my alarm now for Whip the Next Stream so I don't miss it. That will be it's 10 o'clock Central Time, p.m. Central Time that we do that on Saturday nights. Okay, so once again, 5 o'clock on Friday afternoons, we do open mic night for the live chat. On Saturday at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time, we do late night with Bill and Largo. And then on Sunday at 12 noon Central Time is when we have the normal Sunday hangout. Sunday hangout is always going to be toys. Late night is going to be something weird and fantastic. And open mic is all about you guys in the live chat.
Yep.
And in between that, we sometimes do a special during the week if something special is worthwhile of doing. And sometimes I drop a video every once in a while. And it sounds like the dogs are going crazy over that damn cat.
Yep. I got to get that water gun out.
George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle. Strong as he can be.
Definitely. George was definitely an homage to Tarzan.
Very much so. Johnny Sorensen says, thanks. I just wrote all those down so I can use them for time conversion. Hopefully won't need the flux capacitor this time. Absolutely. Yeah. And don't rely on YouTube to help you any because it's broken.
Yeah,
and
their what do you call it? Their notifications are kind of iffy at best.
At best, if they work at all, and even then, like I said, they probably have me shadow banned anyway because I say too much and know too much and do too much.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I tried one time to show a little. It was a simple little movie trailer, and this is what happened.
Return to the vanished kingdoms of ancient times.
Indeed.
Ever since that happened, I think YouTube has put me into the naughty chair.
It's possible. But there's been a lot of different variations. We're not going to go super deep into the rabbit hole. We're not going to talk about Disney Tarzan. I'm not a fan. That wasn't really Tarzan to me. He didn't have dreadlocks. But we'll look at kind of a
update. Everything Disney is not always exactly following any of the source material, and I hope I haven't scared your wife away.
Yeah.
I hear that Susan is not with YouTube anymore. No, she's not. But as Jeremy says, it's probably just going to be more of the same with that replacement.
And she's still part of Google, so she's still around.
Movie. That doesn't surprise me any.
Yeah, different strokes, different folks.
See, I remember that night. Yeah, you were there. Yeah. You were with me.
Yep.
Imagine that happened again.
That's right. Toho's got the ninjas out for us now. The ninja assassins are coming.
I don't know. Certain things you get away with and certain things you can't. Certain people can get away with certain things that other people can't get away with. Rules for thee, but not for me.
That's right. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Peter Paul, Lama Joyce got nuts. Mounds don't. Melvor! I would show that on screen, Melvor, but I won't because we all know that.
Yes, indeed. The power of the plastic flower. God bless them.
That's not a flower.
It's a flower, Bill.
It's not a flower.
Technically.
Well, if it's on a majestic tiger, it's not a flower.
Okay, you got me there.
Now, right about the time that we decide that things are gonna slow down, people start showing up and our internets clear up. How about that?
That's part of that Murphy's Law, I think, maybe.
And I want to shout Bjorn out. Bjorn sent me that Deathstroke the Terminator figure that he promised me, and of course, between the time he sent it and I actually got it, I took a trip to Walmart and got the whole set of the Wave 2 of the Superpowers figures, including Deathstroke. So I have a nice carded figure to add to my collection that will probably stay on the card. But thank you,
Yep.
Bjorn, and I'll be sending you a little money here shortly as soon as I get paid.
Yep. Bjorn also helped me to hook up with the superpowers from Toddy Mac, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're just waiting on them to be sent to you by someone who shall remain nameless at this point.
Well, that's another story. The ones from Bjorn got where they need to go, but yeah.
Sue Studio says that she'll try to be here tomorrow night, all depending upon her dad. Well, dad comes first, and we all know that. I said, what is the night you guys usually have guests on?
Well,
Oh,
depending on internet, it's usually tonight with the open mic, but it really depends on what we've got going.
but
So our set.
Ted, you get in touch with Largo, Ted, because I know you guys are close, and schedule sometime that you want to be on, and we'll have you on anytime you want to be on one of our
Sure.
3 shows. I mean, absolutely. And Cecilia says, I'm a mean green mother from outer space, and I'm bad.
Yep, Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors.
Little shop of horrors, little shop of horrors.
I love the dentist in the movie with Steve Martin playing the sadistic teeth puller. That was great.
Yeah, I remember watching that movie as a young lad, and I did not realize what was really going on with that. And it took me to, as an adult, to understand it. Kind of like that other movie, that Tim Burton movie.
Well, there's a few that would fall into that category. Gojitron asks, Bill, what are your thoughts on the Motu Origins leaks?
I'm not looking forward to any of them. Okay. Most of them are repaints, right? Of stuff that has already come out, right? You know what that means, right? None of that's really anything I'm really interested in. The Snake Tila, maybe. Slamurai, no.
Bill, it looks like our chat is frozen. A couple of folks are noticing that it's not scrolling.
Okay.
On your. You need to tell those hamsters in the computer to get back on the wheel.
All right.
It's a comedy of errors.
I'm going to try to restart it. Yeah. All right. We're going to try to restart it. Hang on just a second.
That cat.
Absolutely. The cat, always doing his baddest.
What he does is he hangs out. Yeah, he hangs out on the top of the wall, knowing that the dogs can't reach him, and just taunts them.
Absolutely.
I'm with Ted. I like this King Randor that they're doing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's a 2008 King Randor, and I might be interested in that. Maybe. But
he's a little less Burger King. He's a little more regal.
Yeah, true. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've about got everything I ever wanted out of Motu right now. And
you don't have all your Snake Men, do you?
I never was into the Snake Men. I wasn't going to get them to begin with.
Oh, okay. But what about the Horde? They still haven't done all the Horde figures yet.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's see if we're going to get back in. All right. All right. Once again, no, I was not into the Snake Man. Does that surprise you?
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. No, I was not
And I spoke too soon.
into
Goji likes the Snake
the
Man.
Snake Man. The whole. Yep, the internet's
Now you're
really
back.
shitty tonight here in bumfucked Egypt. Uh, what were we talking about? Snake Man.
We were talking about Snake Man,
No,
and
no, I never got the Snake Man. Never wanted the Snake Man. Does that surprise you?
not into the snakes.
Never got Hordak. Don't want the evil horde. Don't have any of them. Don't want them. Does that surprise you?
See, you're a bit of a He-Man purist. You like all the original cast before they started going off on tangents.
Pretty much, and there's a reason for that, folks. I'm reliving my childhood. My childhood, as far as He-Man goes, probably stopped about midway into the second wave. So I got the first wave of figures, the original 8. I got most, if not all, of the second wave and some of the third, and then I quit because I became 15, 16 years old, and my mind floated off elsewhere.
Yep. Hair starts growing in funny places. You start thinking about gals. Your voice changes, and suddenly toys don't seem that important anymore. Been there. Still waiting
Yeah,
for my voice to change.
yeah. Gojitron says no repaints for me. I just want Snake Man. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I've got, I've got, I've got a bad feeling about all of this as far as Origins goes. Not that it concerns me personally, but for you guys who really wanted this shit, I'm worried. All right, so I'm thinking that I'm not going to say Guru was correct, but I think Guru might have been correct. I think the line is coming to an end as far as retail goes. Now, what does that mean? That means that anything else that we get after what they've already produced is going to be offered elsewhere. We've got Entertainment Earth. Is anybody hearing me? Because it looks like Largo's frozen. So if y'all can hear me, shout out in the chat and say, "Yeah, we're hearing you, Bill." But yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Uh, so yeah, Largo. I don't know if you're still there with me or not. But I know you just turned your camera off. Thank you, Rolando.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm freezing up real bad, Bill. I'm probably gonna have to call it a night here soon. It's getting worse.
yeah, me too. Because my internet keeps dipping out. But as far as what's been produced, it's not gonna all make it to retail. We're seeing Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store starting to cancel orders because they're not able to get the stuff in. We're seeing the stuff being released to deep discount
Hmm.
website. We're
So you
seeing the
think it's
stuff
going to go to online sales only, like Mattel Creations or something else?
anything new. They've got to get rid of what they've got because they can't warehouse it. That they lose money on a daily basis as long as that shit's stacking up in a warehouse. And if it was all actually meant to go to a big box store like Target or Walmart, and it's packed up in this warehouse and they can't get rid of it, then they're going to get rid of it as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly can, a la deep
Hmm.
discount or whatever. So do I look to see Snake Mountain and the Point Dread show up in toy stores? No. Do
Hmm.
I look for you guys to have to hunt for it places like deep discount? Yes. And that goes for the rest of the waves that they produced as well. So I hate it, but it doesn't concern me because I kind of anticipated this. I've already got my Snake Mountain. I don't really need the new one. The one I've got's better, in my opinion.
Go what you're
Even
trying to say, and Wave 14 has been found at Walmart's website just to mess things up even more.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you something else about Walmart's website. Walmart's website's broken.
It's
Go ahead and
terrible.
order that shit from Walmart and see if they don't cancel it on you.
Several times. I've had a few times where I've done a pre-order there, and they'll either cancel it or something will happen, and then they'll ask me to send them an email saying, "Yeah, I still want this thing that I ordered. Why would I not?"
Target does something similar to that. They keep charging their credit card over and over and over again.
It's weird. It's just weird. You'd think a store that big would have a more streamlined system for online shopping, but
they're going to have
Amazon. They are not.
Yeah, they're going to have to start doing like copying Amazon as far as online sales goes, or they're not going to ever get anywhere. I don't order from Target or from Walmart. I'm not buying it from them online.
Right. That's why I always put out the bat signal to our friends in the community to try to find stuff in store, because trying to order online from either one of those. And of course, that's where they do exclusives, which drives me crazy. I hate these exclusives that are Walmart or Target exclusives, because it's like, might as well make it out of unobtainium because I can't get it.
Yeah, Wave 13 popping up on eBay Australia there, and a few with them in hand now, indeed. And that's another thing. I don't know how those guys are getting a hold of this shit they're getting a hold of. But then again, all of this stuff has always been released to Malaysia first, because it's really near the factories in China.
Makes sense.
So there's a website, I forget what his name is. Maybe you can help me out, Rolando, because I can't remember. But he's from Malaysia, and he does all these reviews of the origin stuff as soon as it comes out.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name either because I'm old. Another good one is Treasures for Trigger, our buddy Phil, our favorite Kiwi in Japan. He also gets kind of a jump on some figures sometimes. Yeah, Target does some goofy stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, the Malaysia guy also he had some disturbing news here a while back. This was before Guru came out with his revelation. But the
no
Malaysia
pun intended.
Guy, the Malaysia guy told us that he was starting to see the Motu figures not being in the big box stores in Malaysia.
That was peculiar.
A while back. That was a while back, and that was disturbing at the time I heard that. So I've got my reservations. Like I said, I've got my Snake Mountain. I've got my Point Dread. Even though they're not going to be the new ones, the new improved versions or whatever, they fit well with already have.
Yeah, Eldor saying Retro Toy Escapades. Is that the site for the fellow over there?
That's him.
Okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely him.
And thank you, Rolando, for shouting out our buddy Phil.
Yeah, appreciate that, Rolando. Rolando works really hard, folks. If y'all haven't thanked him, thank him.
And he does some good man about town little videos showing what's on the aisles when he does his Instagram.
Yeah, his name is Ken as well. So don't confuse him with the Ken from over there at Toy
Connection or Ken Actions. Yes, that's Ken Poe.
Yeah, this is a different Ken, but he's in Malaysia, and he always opens the show. This is Retro Toy Escapades from Malaysia, and he's real cool, and I like his reviews. Yeah, gotta go, says the studio. Catch you gentlemen later. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night too, folks, because our internet's just not cooperating with us. We'll talk more about this Saturday night and Sunday too, as far as the future of Motu. I hate it, but I think it's going to go to the Mattel Creations for anything new after these last few waves go away.
Yep. Wait and see.
Guys. Good journey, everybody. I'm glad to have y'all in the chat with us tonight. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see y'all next time.
Night.
Special thanks to these supporters on Patreon. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like and subscribe and share the video.